Hello and welcome back to Chess of Blades. And we just finished off with Raphael telling kind of a sad story about Linnaeus's or Linus's past, however you want to pronounce his name. God damn. It's like potatoes, potatoes, tomatoes, tomatoes. Blah, 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 right? So, anyways, we shall continue. I think we have like one more day left before the story's over. Because Raphael mentioned that tomorrow's the masquerade. So much happens in a day. Forget which day we're on. But, yeah, so I think we're almost done. But, anyway, let's continue where we left off. So, sighing to myself, up inside my chambers, wondering if there's any way I could just amuse myself to get my mind off such subjects for bedtime as a birth. From water. Why that happens. And then my gaze drops down to the ground.
A note? Just who is slipping notes under my door?
Murmuring inquisitively to myself, I lean down to pick up the paper in question. The penmanship is exquisite. The words themselves are brief. We're both probably out of practice when it comes to dancing. So let's meet in the ballroom tonight after everyone's asleep. Linnaeus, that you. Bring your mask. Don't make me wait. Did we ever get a mask? I don't remember. Only one person who could have run this. Surely. Linnaeus. He wants me to meet him tonight? My heart does a somersault in my chest. I crumple the note in my hand with a sudden rush of excitement. Raphael's lingering warning is relegated to a dusty corner of my mind, along with all the court etiquette and procedures I've been tutored in. The fact that Linnaeus invited me to dance, rather than spending his night fisking and poring over his duties, doesn't that mean something? I wonder if we're still gonna bang him in, like, I don't know, the stored room? Like we did with Franz? Not that you ever saw, because I had to edit that out, but yeah. Well, there's no way I can refuse, besides, if possible, I'd like to ask him a little more about himself. Probably as we dance. Then we'll see if we bone. So, oh, and I almost forgot, I'll have to ask him about this bottle, too. I pulled a little crystalline container from my pocket, deciding I might as well examine it some while I wait for the time to pass. The odd white powder shifts around the bottom as I roll the bottle in between my fingers, squinting to try and discern what it could possibly be. Poison, I presume? Doesn't really make much sense for it to be something like sugar salt. In that case, perhaps it's a drug of some sort, or... Have you caught on now, Rivian? Is it possible? The powdered white substance might be a poison? Maybe it's unlikely, but my gut feeling tells me that somehow this is related to the murder case. That guard. I wonder if he recognized it. Is he somehow involved in all this? Probably. We had a guard last time that wasn't a guard. So I'll definitely have to ask Linus about it. If I show him the bottle as well as the keys from earlier, I bet he'll be thrilled to get potential new leads.
He might even give me a reward.
Oh, what kind of reward do we want, Rivian? What kind of reward are we asking for? Snigger happily to myself. No doubt, resembling a puppy excited to bring something back to its master. Oh well, what can I say? Everyone likes to feel useful now and then. Yeah. Yeah. Spent a little while long trying to glean any more clues from the bottle, although I can't find much. Setting it aside for now, I decided to try and refresh some of my dancing lessons in my head and rehearse a few of the steps I can remember. I really never thought dancing would come in handy, but I'd rather not look like a fool in front of Linus. Although I don't get much of the skilled dancer vibe from him, despite the fact that he's tall and he's a perfect form for it. Per to us being apparently a shorty. So the night quickly deepened as I indulged myself in a few happy fantasies, all while waltzing to an enchanting melody inside my mind. Okay, I was afraid to click again. Or it crashed. But when I finally pressed my ear to my bedroom door and hear only silence, I decided it's time to head downstairs. So, slipping on my mask, I head out into the corridor, which is eerily quiet compared to its normal state during the day. Voices from the main hall usually always float up here, giving it a pleasantly homey feel, but it's so silent at night. I can't help but feel like some young romantic stealing out of his room to meet a lover. I mean, we are basically doing that. What a ridiculous image. Nah. Not entirely. So I hurry in the direction of the lower level, quickly winding my way through the hall, finally emerging on the ground, balcony descending the staircase 2 steps at a time. Finally, I reach the ballroom doors, which are firmly closed. I hope he's here and I'm not too early or too late. So we're gonna have the lighting of the moon, I assume, as we dance in arms together. I would imagine. I grasp on the handles and slowly pull it open, my breath catching in my throat and the sound of my own fast heart beating filling my ears. The light of the full, pleasant moon is the only thing illuminating the dark ballroom. I hesitantly step forward, crossing the threshold of the sprawling chamber. It looks so ethereal, almost dreamlike, when it's dark and utterly silent like this. I almost feel as if I'm stepping into another world entirely, one completely separate from the energetic scene I witnessed the other night. Then my eyes fall upon a tall, elegant figure standing in the center of the otherwise empty floor. His back is to me, but the long black hair falling to his shoulders as well as his fine and exquisite posturing makes it easy to recognize who he is.
Linnaeus?
My voice echoes in the ballroom, with uncertainty betraying my nervousness. Oh! So in response, the figure turns to face me, and I catch the glimpse of his mask, features in the moonlight. He holds out a hand to me expectantly, looking unusually phantom-like as the pale beams streaming in through the windows reflect off his clothing. I remind myself that it's only Linnaeus. I approach him slowly, trying to discern his expression through the mask. I mean, it's not that difficult. Goddamn, I never understood how people I can't tell by their looks. Their masks covering everything was just the eyes. Don't understand that, whatever. Storytelling, right? When I get close, I can tell that he's smiling a little. A sight so relatively rare that I find a trace of excitement bubbling through me.
You decided to finally show up, I see. That mask suits you well.
Oh, does it? I don't remember what our mask looked like. Unless it's different for Linnaeus. His words come out softly, but I'm taken aback at how warm his low voice is. For whatever reason, I feel like I've not heard his voice in eternity. I don't know if that means anything, but yeah. It's weird hearing his voice again. I forgot how it sounded like. Was it even possible for the same man to be icy, unforgiving inquisitor I know? Even his normally hawk-like gaze seems gentler and more passionate, like the ice has melted. For a little while, at least.
Would you mind hurrying up so that I don't have to keep holding my hand like this? I am getting a wrist cramp, Varison.
Oh, are you? That's more of the Linus. That's more of the Linus I know. Yep. Gosh, so much taller. So smirking to myself, I put my hand in his own, to which he quickly responds by pulling me close. Oh, he looks so much taller than Franz. But as one of his arms snakes around my back, while the other claps my hand tightly, I'm struck once more by how tall he is. I've never been this close before while facing each other, but Linnaeus is on par with Franz's height. I don't know, he seems a little bit taller, but I guess they'd be about the same height. But, on par with Franz's height, even though he's more leanly built. I guess that's why he seems more taller. I know words. I know English. But I guess that's why he seems taller.
I'm going to get an egg cramp from having to look up at you for too long, you know. Damned giant.
Why don't you rest your head against my shoulder then? I don't want to have to hear your endless whining and complaining.
Wow, so smooth. Just smooth talker. So twisting my lip in disapproval at his teasing, I decided to take him up on his offer anyway. Leaning in, I let my head lightly press to his shoulder, closing my eyes with a soft exhale. His scent is a faint but pleasant one, a mixture of something like vanilla with a dusty tinge, probably from the scrolls and books he pores over all the time. So what you're saying is that he smells that of a potentially new book? Maybe? Kind of? I mean, it says dusty tinge, so I mean, maybe sort of that of an old book. I don't know. That's flunking out of it. So after I nestle in place, Linnaeus finally starts to guide me with unhurried steps into a slow, gentle dance, and it doesn't take me long to find his gradual rhythm and fall into pace with it. My racing heartbeat slows down a little as my nerves dissipate somewhat. But it continues to pound despite the relaxed nature of our movements. It still feels like this isn't really happening, and I somehow stepped into a dream world. I've been trying to ignore the strange emotions that have been rising inside me since the first time I met this insufferable man, but for whatever reason, they just won't go away. I remember wondering why on earth the king would ever want to keep someone like Linnaeus around, but I think I understand now. Do we? Beyond just this keen perception and intuition, he's so determined that I have to wonder what could ever stop him. Us, maybe? if we get to bone, maybe. But even his words are brutally sharp most of the time. I feel like they're just thorns he puts up to keep himself untouchable. I have to wonder though, is he really capable of loyalty to something other than his duties? Probably. My curiosity drives me to open my eyes, lifting my head to look up at Linnaeus inquisitively. He gazes back down at me and raises an eyebrow, perhaps prompting me to ask whatever's on my mind.
Linnaeus, has there ever been anything you loved more than your job as Inquisitor? Or have your responsibilities always been first in your heart?
That's concerning. Linnaeus? There a problem? My question seems to completely catch Linnaeus off guard. For a moment, he looks surprisingly vulnerable and maybe even lost. He doesn't even know he doesn't even know the answer himself. Finally, he turns his head a little to the side. We see a nostalgic look softly filling his eyes.
There was once something I loved more than anything. Yes. It was mine when I was younger, and we were only torn apart a few years ago.
Oh, would it be Raphael? The tender, affectionate note in his voice makes my heart sink uncomfortably. Is he talking about a lover? I mean, if he's talking about Raphael as a lover, I mean, okay, I guess for doing a Game of Thrones, I keep forgetting. It's like there and then disappears. Well, hopefully those of you who know what I'm talking about.
Around both me and others. He'd always refuse to come into my arms when I wanted to hold him. But when I needed him most, he'd always be there.
And the Inquisitor's lips curve into a smile so warm that it makes him almost unrecognizable.
It sounds like you were very close.
We sound jealous. My god, Rivian. It struggles to keep my voice from being laced with loneliness or annoyance. It's how such a memory can make Linnaeus so wistful. Yeah, I think it's made Rivian a little jealous.
His fiery spirit and independence were what drew me to him. And it's what I miss about him most. If cruel death had not separated us, he would doubtlessly be with me right now.
Oh, he died? Okay, so it's not Raphael.
He was murdered? Or was it an accident?
Bite my lip immediately after blurting out the question. Damn it, I hope I'm not drudging up painful memories. Death of a lover has to be an incredibly horrible subject. But to my shock, Linnaeus lets out a faint snort of dry laughter, shaking his head at me.
Murdered? No, nothing like that. Cats just have naturally short lifespans, you know. He succumbed to old age, as we all eventually do.
Wait! Wait, does that mean what he was referring to was just his cat? Just be like, come to me, kitty! No! Why must you leave me, cat? Is that basically it? Just love with the cat? It's just like anyone normally would with their pets. So my feet freeze in place as I stare blankly at Linnaeus for a moment. He's talking about a cat? Yeah, I had a totally different thought. Oh my god. Apparently I recognize my confusion. He gives a mischievous grin. Like I just fall into his trap.
Surely you didn't think I was referring to a lover, did you? I thought you were acting a bit strange.
I mean, we may have been. Just maybe. Well, we weren't all fooled here, Rivian. So I started to think Linnaeus can actually read my mind. I mean, I feel like it was obvious. The expression to give off, just of a, the fuck? We're talking about a cat this whole time? I guess that was your lover. Whatevs. So, am I that transparent, or is he just an expert at his job? Maybe a bit of both.
You're making a remarkably adorable face right now. Let me guess. Can he read my mind? Am I right?
The fuck, Linnaeus? You know, magic or something? Was it telepathy? No, telepathy? I think I'm wrong. Not telekinesis, I think it's telepathy. You have telepathy, Linnaeus, or something?
That's not funny, you know. I'm even wearing a mask, but you can still see right through me.
The mask does not hide much, dude. I don't understand that. What else? Maybe it's just because I've not been an actual mask ball parade or seen enough images, though. It's still a little ridiculous, but whatever. It's story. I guess it just has to slide. But chuckling in satisfaction, Linnaeus releases his grip on my waist and hand. Best I rest. Reaching instead to cup my cheeks in his palms.
That is simply because you're so much like my cat. A tiny ball of claws and sharp teeth, but with a warm heart beneath all that silky fur.
But the difference, we're fuckable. That's the difference I'm getting out. Or at least it'd be more okay. Just saying. Fur is cool and all, but it's... I'm not gonna go near that. So he gently pulls the mask from my face, lifting up his own, and then stares Lena in slowly. His lips brush softly against my own. I desperately, fervently hope that this really isn't a dream. I don't pull away or flinch or Linnaeus presses... Words, come on. When I don't pull away or flinch, Linnaeus presses in more, sealing the distance between us in a full-fledged kiss. Rather than just one long kiss, however, he teases me with several small, sweet ones, and I can finally feel my face growing searingly hot.
You're trembling. You must be very innocent indeed behind that proud facade you keep up. Or am I moving too fast for your little heart to handle?
Maybe both.
Quit teasing me. I thought we came to an accord on this a while back.
I mean, it's fun to tease people. So his lips wander along my cheek, leaving a string of kisses in their wake, so delicate that I can barely stand it.
Well, you're not trying to run away, and you're flushed the color of a rose. Surely you can't mind it that much.
I clutch the front of his coat, tightly hoping the fabric will give me some sort of grounding, as Linnaeus offers me such a light affections, his actions far sweeter than any of his words. No one's ever treated me like this before, and Linnaeus of all people is the man who currently has my world spinning. He pauses, then leans in close to my ear to nuzzle lightly against it.
Rivian, there is something I must ask you, and I expect an earnest, quick reply.
Is it about work? What have we found? I close my eyes, breath momentarily catching in my throat as his low, sensual murmur echoes in my ear. Soft brush of his lips to my skin indicates he's about to pose that question, and I cling onto him all the more tightly. All of a sudden, there's a muffled noise from behind the closed ballroom doors. It sounds like some kind of scuffle, but there was definitely no one else around when I came in earlier. I exchange glances with Linnaeus, who nods and quietly move towards the doors. Then continues getting louder as we near the exits. My mind races through the unpleasant possibilities of who could be there. Might be anyone, of course, but the Duchess's murder still hasn't been caught. It's the end of the night, or the dead of night. Taking a deep breath, I start to turn towards Linnaeus to whisper about the best plan of action when... Before I get a chance, he abruptly throws the doors open, striking out without hesitation. And there before us is an incredibly strange sight. Silas? And guard? Silas the butler is grappling with the guard in full armor. There's a sword in the guard's hands, but somehow Silas is keeping his arm trapped. How on earth is he even able to fight back? He's unarmed? Maybe he's related to a certain butler? Just maybe?
Silas!
If I could remember to reference him in edit, hopefully. But I unthinkingly cry out to him to rush over to try and help. He casts a brief glance in my direction, his eyes widening in surprise. Long fingers quickly curl about my wrists. However, before I can move towards the butler, Linnaeus is holding me back and his firm grip is too powerful for me to wiggle away. His fingers are like iron from holding a quill all day, damn it.
You there! Just what do you think you're doing?
His voice resounds commandingly in the dark main hall. Guards helmeted quickly swiveled in our direction.
Unhand the servant, or you will find yourself swinging from the gallows before the end of a fortnight.
The guard steps back from Silas, turning his head towards Linnaeus and me. His towering bulk makes my heart freeze in my chest, and I try my hardest not to keep terror reflecting on my face. Even though I can't see who he is, I have the unshakable feeling that it's the same guard who was courting me earlier. I have a feeling it's him too. Definitely involved in something shady. Where's the ball now? This? 10 seconds that follow feel like an eternity, but Linnaeus doesn't flinch or move. Instead stares straight ahead at the guard with an impressively frigid expression. Both of us are completely defenseless, and surely the guard could chop us to pieces if he was quick enough. Somehow, Linnaeus' cold gaze... Oh god. Somehow Linnaeus' cold gaze seems to hold the man in place. The world falls into stasis around us.
Inquisitor.
What's so interesting, guard? Letting out a growl and then a low mocking laugh, Art slips back from Silas and shoves the sword back into its sheath. But later he turns and sets off, sprinting into the darkness, moving and staunching a rate for someone wearing so much armor.
Wait! Come back here, you!
When I make another attempt to pull away, Linnaeus kicks me back and I let out a low hiss of annoyance.
What's the matter with you, Linnaeus? He's getting away. We have to catch him.
A familiar, sharp, cool glint shines in the Inquisitor's eyes. The loaf look he so often wears. He glances down at me briefly, only to offer a dismissive shake of his hand.
Only a fool would pursue an armed man, especially when he could be leading us right into a trap. It is far more prudent to have the rest of the guards immediately alerted.
When the attacker's footsteps vanish into complete silence, Linnaeus finally releases my arm and I grit my teeth in frustration. He's right, I suppose, but I can't believe we just let him go like that.
Silas, are you alright?
My attention quickly turns to the butler, who's still standing same place. Something out his fingers noticed that. Or was that always there? Something I noticed just now, but still staying in the same place, he was struggling with the guard. Dark look on his features. I hurry over to him to see if he is injured, and our Silas offers me a weak shadow of his normal smile, smoothing off his crisp coat.
I am unharmed, sir. I was rather taken by surprise, but I managed to evade his attacks due to their hampered speed.
There? He appears to be a little shaken, although not entirely as much as I would be if I were almost cleaved in two by a crazed guard.
What the hell happened out here? Did he just attack you for no reason?
Silas pauses before replying, his eyes flicking away from my own to follow Linnaeus instead, as I hear the Inquisitor's footsteps approaching from behind.
A note was slipped under my door, sir, requesting that I attend to a sensitive matter with a guest in the main hall. I was ambushed as soon as I descended the staircase.
Oh. For whatever reason, I get the feeling that he isn't being entirely truthful. His normally straightforward manner seems unusually guarded. His words sound practically careful and deliberate.
This is a matter that should not be treated lightly. A wolf in sheep's clothing is a hazard to all of His Majesty's guests, and that man must be caught as soon as possible.
Linnaeus' voice resonates with the same icy vein as before. It's like someone flipped the switch inside him, and now he's back in the bloodhound Inquisitor state. Silas gazes at Linnaeus with a froward brow, then glances over to me a moment later with a hesitant look on his face. He's certainly puzzling over something, perhaps whether or not to divulge what really happened. Do I want to speak up, or do I want Linnaeus handle it? I mean, I think Linnaeus knows what he's doing, right? Probably better stay silent since this is Linnaeus' domain rather than mine.
I will not indict you in any matters if you provide the complete truth to me, Silas. You have my word.
Sun grows slightly less aloof, but still holds a resolute firmness. Silas finally offers a somewhat reluctant nod in response, brow creasing with worry.
Very well, sir. I will impart all that I know, provided we move to a more discreet location. However...
His lips curl in an apologetic smile, and he strains his slightly ruffled He strains his slightly ruffled lapels with gloved hands.
I can only divulge such information if Sir Rivian is not present, I'm afraid.
And why would that be? Me? Why am I at all related to his information? Silas not trust me? Is he planning on implicating me somehow?
Understood. In that case, let us make haste to my office. Rivian, you should return to your room immediately.
Agreeing to Silas's terms without any hesitation or even questioning why I can't be involved, Linnaeus turns to me with a sharp look. First instinct is to protest or to point out how I probably met that guard earlier, or even bring up the possible evidence I found earlier, trying to convince them I should be a part of things. Yet something about being brushed off so briskly ends up banishing those thoughts from my mind, placing them with the miserable sense of isolation.
Fine.
Well, I mean, we still got one more, well, more like the morning left to give him the evidence, so trying to keep my voice from sounding too sulky or hurt, I turn away the other two before my face can betray my frustration. Again, Linnaeus completely shuts me out a moment notice, like he's able to witfully ignore my existence. Makes my stomach tighten with an unpleasant mix of anger and disappointment. I force myself to the stairs, climbing up towards the second floor. When I reach the balcony, I can't help but steal a glance down at Linnaeus and Silas. They're still standing where I left them, murmuring in hushed tones, nodding at each other's words. I turn myself away and walk slowly towards the guest rooms, biting my lower lip. Always seem desolate and lonely as I move through them. Part of me is tempted to hide near Linnaeus' room and eavesdrop on this conversation. I'm not surprised here, but my curiosity is dampened by how heavy my heart feels. Just trying to make sure nothing stopped because I pressed spacebar. We're dancing earlier. We're dancing earlier. Maybe it really was a dream. Raphael's earlier words about his loyalty to the king, I think I could see the truth in them for myself. Even if I could win a little affection from him now and then, it is even worth it. If I know he's able to drop me second something's related to duties is involved. Though there's still the thing that he was about to ask us, so... Bitter thoughts circle in my head as I reach my chambers, and as silly as I feel for brooding over something like this, it just won't go away. I contemplate heading out the balcony to get some fresh air and clear my head, but my body feels too drained of energy to face the prospect of anything except sleep. Around my clothes haphazardly, I slide under my bedsheets and close my eyes with a heavy exhale. Lots of Linnaeus and vivid images of moonlight, ballroom, make me restlessly toss and turn for several minutes. Eventually I fall into a shallow slumber while clutching my pillow tightly, praying for peaceful dreams. Well, before I continue to figure out who the hell is knocking on our door, I think I recorded enough for this video. So, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you want to see more of what's going to happen next time, because my god, there's so much that happens. I don't know. Maybe hit the subscribe button. Let me know if I have anything I do, really. If you got anything to say so in the comments below. Until then, I shall see you guys in the next video or stream. Comrades.